everyone. Serafino Iacono, CEO of NG Energy International Corp, and he's executive chairman for Gran, Colombia. So our discussion today is going to be geared more around natural gas prices. If those in the audience, if you've been watching and monitoring gas, you'd have a pretty good idea that it's been quite volatile. So we can probably just dive right in here since we're a few minutes off track. First question I had for you, Serafino, was nat gas prices. They fell and moved really dramatically over the past fall. Some saying that this has been probably a record-breaking few months, right, in terms of warmth in the States. What effect has the spike in international prices had on domestic gas prices in Colombia? And how does this impact the markets in which you operate?
Well, in Colombia, it's a little bit different. It's a very captive market. In the United States, natural gas is used, or in Europe, it's used for heating and then for home usage. In Colombia, natural gas is used to produce electricity and for cooking and heating water. So completely different kind of market. I see the volatility that there is in worldwide, but it's also one of those moments. I think that the market went ahead of itself with prices, but I don't think they're wrong. Natural gas is going to be the substitute for everything that everybody's talking about. Coal, that I don't think it's going to happen as fast as everybody thinks. And this new goal that everybody has set for 2050 to be neutral emission of energy for energy, that's going to, in countries like Colombia, natural gas is always double whatever the price is of oil. So to give you a reference, WTI, normally natural gas in Colombia would be 12% of WTI, more or less. Depends if it's interruptible or if it's a long-term contract. In the case of Colombia, we are getting 7 to 750 per million BTU. So that's a very, very solid return on the investments of shareholders, especially our shareholders. Our total all-in sustainable cost for a million BTUs of gas, it's including royalties, it's $2 per million BTUs. So you have a very, very nice profit before taxes.
That's actually, I posted an article last night, just a really, really short, brief analysis that I did on gas. And I did a cross comparison with GASX, and there was no correlation to the decline in current gas prices, right? GASX is still holding up pretty strong. So it kind of reflects that, pricing in Colombia probably wasn't really impacted as much as it would be over in the States.
Well, in the States, I believe in the States it went down to $4, right?
Yes, yeah, actually lower than that, well, so slightly lower.
Well, it was. I believe that it's going to go up again, and it's not a reflection of the cold or if it's a warm weather. I think it's a reflection of everybody that's got to put their infrastructure together and start using electricity. And where is the electricity for all these electric cars going to come from? Nobody has been able to give me an answer. It's not going to come from solar, that's for sure.
I have a bullish outlook for 2022 nat gas and for crude oil, so I'm probably a little bit biased when it comes to that, right? But I've done my quarterly and yearly analysis so far. Crude was my biggest swing for 2021, right? I did it as a yearly play, and it's been on track. So if we keep moving in that direction, right, since the two are correlated, and like you said, you did a really easy calculation for everyone to kind of understand.
Just remember that a year ago now, oil went to negative money. You actually got zero money for your oil that was stored. Okay, it was absurd. Natural gas. Look, the world is going to realize that neither by 2030 or 2050 we are going to be ready with the expansion of electricity usage that is going to be in the world. I believe that electric cars are a reality, or bus or trains or things like that. But that only is going to enhance the use of and consumption of natural gas. And on the side of oil, I agree with you. Everybody thinks that oil it's used 100% to make gasoline. Only 25% of oil is used for fuel. 75% is used for everything that we use on a daily basis in our normal life that we don't even think about, from polyethylenes to fertilizers to plastics and everything else.
Thank you for that. So second one is a little bit more related to GASX in particular. I know that you guys are ready to start drilling out there. How could you expand a little bit more on production at Maria Conchita and drilling out of Sinu 9?
Yeah, Maria Conchita, as we speak this week, they're finalizing the installation of the cleaning facilities for the Arruchara well and for the Istanbul well. It's going to be tested for about a week for bugs. You got to debug it after you put it together. And we expect between 2 weeks, 3 weeks, the latest, start delivery of natural gas to our customers in Maria Conchita. We're going to start with Istanbul with 4 million cubic feet of gas for domestic use in a very close area to where we are, that is called Valledupar and all the surrounding areas that take that. And Rio Hacha in particular, they're going to deliver the natural gas by trucks, but cleaned into our facility. By the end of the month, we're going to be testing our 14-kilometer pipeline so that we can, by January, start delivering natural gas from the Arruchara well, which is about 15 million cubic feet to start a day to our customers in Bogota in the southern part of Colombia.
Okay.
Now the drilling in Sinu 9, we are building the pads on the north part of the concession, and on the south part of the concession we're building 2 pads. The 2 pads are going to be receiving simultaneously. We're looking for a second rig. The south is going to start drilling probably by the end of the month, and simultaneously in the north and the south, so that we can get results on both concession, on both first drill hole. It's going to take about 3 weeks to drill it. It's going to take extensive testing. It's going to take about 15 days. And then it's declaring commercialization and then going through the routine of putting together the infrastructure to deliver that gas to our customers. And we are still going to continue with the same rigs, drilling the all other areas as we finish reaching our program for 2022 of 6 wells.
What does that mean for cash flow then for GASX for 2022?
2022, we expect 35 million in EBITDA out of Maria Conchita. The money from Sinu 9 will come in probably by the third quarter. I'm not making any projections on that simply because we want to see what kind of results we have and how long does it take for us to build the infrastructure to connect. We have to build a 25-kilometer pipeline to hook up the gas.
Yeah, and that's fair. You touched a little bit earlier on oil prices and the correlation. So something I've been reading a little bit over the last few months on oil and nat gas is they haven't been as seasonally correlated as they've been in the past, right? So what's your take on that? And how well correlated do you think that prices have been in your experience? And and maybe the outlook for even for crude for 2022?
Look, let's start with the correlation of the U.S. is a very particular place for natural gas. You know, God was good to the U.S. and it's loaded with natural gas everywhere. It's got a fantastic infrastructure in place that was built in the days of Enron. Everybody probably half of your people don't even remember what Enron was, but it was the biggest infrastructure company to deliver gas. That's what's left out of it. So natural gas has very low cost of production in the United States, and it's got very low cost of delivery. So it's got the luxury of going up and going down. Uh, you got to correlate natural gas to outside of the United States. Go to Europe, and right now in Europe, natural gas sells for $16 per million BTUs. Okay,
Yeah.
$16 per million BTUs. It's 3 times, 4 times what it's sold in in the U.S. Same thing with Asia. In Asia, natural gas sells at between $21 and $30 per million BTUs. So it's the same thing. In Colombia, it sells at $7. In the Caribbean, it sells at $9. And so on and so on and so on. So the correlation is oil, and you got to look at the price of oil, and WTI is the needle. Why? Because it reflects a barrel of oil versus a million BTUs that it's produced by natural gas. So it's 12%. That's it. So oil is up, natural gas is up. Oil is down, natural gas is down, with the exception of certain countries that they have the need for that thing. I believe that oil is going to stay in the 70s and 80 for quite a long time. And then I believe that by next year, it's going to touch the 100. That's because of consumption by people. Not only with cars. Look, reality is the millions and millions of cars that are in this world are not going to disappear by 2025. And I just bought a new car last month. All right, it's a dual car. I'll pay my taxes, but I'm not going to get rid of the gasoline car. I have a car that uses both energy and gasoline. Electricity and gasoline. But I go back to the same point, Izzy. Nobody has been able to tell me electricity to power all these cars is either going to come from coal, from nuclear power, from natural gas, okay, and maybe a little bit from solar and wind, but it's not going to be everything from solar and wind unless we want to cover the earth with solar panel and windmills. I don't know.
If anyone in the audience wants to try, challenging Serafino on that, this is the time to do it. No, I think I'd have to agree with you on that. I'm very pro EV and being clean energy, but it's more so the efficiency and long term, right? And the timeline that people are putting on this is, it's a little bit unrealistic in my opinion, right? But do I think it's never going to happen? No, right? Do I think that
no, it's going to happen?
Yes, but there's a lot more factors behind the scenes that maybe people that are not in the industry don't really know about, right? Like, so I come from a power and gas industry myself, right? So I understand the efficiency side of things, right? So and so far we just don't quite have that yet. But
well, look, you're going to cook with solar power. You're going to cook with solar power in houses with electricity. At night, you're not going to be able to cook.
Where I live.
Not where I live either.
So
not where I live either. Look, we have to be conscious and we have to be aware of Earth, and this is the only place that we have. I think that there is a transition and there's going to be technologies that are going to be invented. And I believe that in the future, there's going to be more technologies that are going to be invented to produce natural gas cleaner and do something with the CO2 emission and control those. That's what I believe that it's going to go.
Well, I think I'm out of questions, and I think we're actually out of time. So this was timed pretty perfectly.
Izzy, pleasure talking to you. Thank you for giving us the time, and we'll hope to see you soon.
I hope
All
so
right?
too. Hopefully next time in person.
Take care. Absolutely.
You too.
Take care.
Thank you so much.